Yes, good afternoon to all of you. Okay, yesterday what we have discussed, we have discussed the operating principle of the three-phase induction motor. Is it right? Okay. Next, also we have seen some basic equations, that is synchronous speed, okay, and synchronous speed in rotations per second, synchronous speed in rotations per minute, okay, and radians per second as well. And we have seen some definition of the sleep. Okay, S is equal to ns minus nr upon by ns. Okay, so road motor speed nr is equal to ns into 1 minus s. Motor speed in radians per second omega m is equal to omega s into 1 minus s. Like the same way we have seen the rotor frequency is fr is equal to s into slip times of the stator frequency. Like the same way we have also seen the rotor induced EMF, okay, under the running condition E2R is equal to slip times of the rotor induced EMF under the standstill condition. Yes, E2R is equal to S into E2. Okay, slip times of the rotor induced EMF under the standstill condition. So also we have seen some basic equation of the impedance of the rotor circuit. Okay, impedance of the rotor circuit, that is equal to square root of R2 square plus X2 square. Okay, impedance of the rotor circuit under the running condition, square root of R2 square plus S into X2 square. This is under the running condition. This is the rotor impedance under the running condition, and this is the rotor EMF under the running condition, and this is the rotor impedance at the standstill condition. Clear? This is the rotor current at the standstill condition. Standstill means stop condition. When the motor speed is 0, that condition can be called as standstill condition. Okay, all these equations we have seen the previous lectures. Also, we have seen the power factor, a rotor current under the running condition, all these things. Okay, so today we are going to see the three-phase induction motor speed torque characteristics. Today we are going to see the three-phase induction motor speed torque characteristics. Okay, similar to other types of electrical machines, three-phase induction machine can work as a generator and motor. Okay, similar other type of machine like DC and synchronous machine, the induction machine is also can work as a motor as well as generator. Clear? So for this machine, however, because of the stator must be connected to the three-phase circuit. Okay, the difference between being a motor or functioning as a generator, it lies in the speed of the motor. So means what we can say here, the motor can be work as a motor or a generator, but it should be connected to the supply, three-phase supply. It should be connected to the three-phase supply. We can say whenever it is operated as a generator, it should be connected to the three-phase circuit, and whenever it is operated as a motor, it should be connected to the three-phase supply. So simply we can say, so it should be connected to the three-phase circuit. Simply in one sentence, what we can say, the three-phase induction motor should be connected to the three-phase circuit, okay, to operate as a motor as well as to operate as a generator. Okay, in general, if the rotor speed is higher than the synchronous speed, then it behaves as a generator. So obviously, what we can say, if the motor speed, if the motor speed or rotor speed is higher than the synchronous speed, so obviously it will work as a generator. So let we can see here. So the developed rotating magnetic field, the rotating magnetic field after the stator is electrically connected. Okay, after the stator circuit is electrically connected, revolves at the synchronous speed. This causes the rotor to follow the rotating magnetic field and rotates. If the rotor shaft is given to the mechanical energy to rotate faster than the speed of the magnetic field, then the machine behaves as a generator. So what is the meaning of this sentence? Simply we can say here, the stator circuit is connected to the three-phase supply. By connecting the three-phase supply to the stator winding, the magnetic field is rotates. Okay, the magnetic field is produced and it will rotates in the air gap. This is called as the rotating magnetic field. Okay, due to this, the torque is developed. Okay, due to this, the torque is developed. Already we have seen the operating principle. Okay, so due to this torque, the rotor is trying to start to rotate in the direction of magnetic field. In the direction of magnetic field means now what we can say, the rotor is rotating. Means the motor is starts to rotate. Okay, if this motor speed or rotor speed is greater than the synchronous speed, if this motor speed is greater than the speed of the magnetic field, okay, then what will happening? The torque is goes to negative. If the torque is goes negative, what will happening? It will work as a generator. You can see here. Okay, this is the speed torque characteristics of the three-phase induction motor. Okay, this is the on y-axis we are taking the torque. Okay, on x-axis we are taking the slip as well as speed, a synchronous speed, maybe a capital NS or small ns. On y-axis we have taken the synchronous speed ns or synchronous speed rotations per second or synchronous speed in radians per second. Synchronous speed in radians per second. Clear? So this is the zero. Zero means here okay. If this synchronous speed is increasing, okay, if this synchronous speed is increasing, what will happening? The torque is also increases. The torque is also increases up to for a particular value, and when the synchronous speed is going to be maximum, okay, when the synchronous speed is going to be increased beyond the some particular value, then the torque is going to be decreases. Then the torque is going to be decreases, and this torque is becoming zero at this position. The torque is becoming zero at this position because okay, because for example, this is the synchronous speed, and in motor is also rotating at this speed. Okay, the motor is also rotating at this speed. The motor is also rotating at this speed, means synchronous speed is equal to motor speed. So then we can say slip S is equal to okay ns minus nr minus nr upon by ns. So here we can write, if the motor speed is equal to synchronous speed, ns minus ns minus ns by ns, that is equal to 0. Slip is equal to 0. slip is equal to 0. Clear? So at this point s is equal to 1. Sorry, slip is equal to 0. So this is the line, slip is equal to 0, s is equal to 0. Clear? So how the torque is going to be 0? Because we know the formula E2R is equal to, E2R means rotor circuit induced EMF under the running condition. E2R is equal to S into E2. Okay, yesterday we have discussed all these equations. Okay, induced EMF of the rotor circuit under the running condition is equal to S into E2. Okay, here S is equal to 0 means E2R is also 0. E2R is also 0. Clear? So means E2R is 0, induced EMF of the rotor circuit under the running condition is 0, then what will happen? So we know the formula. We know the formula I2R. Okay, I2R current, rotor current under the running condition, I2R is equal to S into E2R divided by square root of R2 square plus S into X2 square. So here E2R is equal to 0 when the motor speed is equal to synchronous speed. So then we can substitute in this equation S into 0, S into 0. So divided by R2 square divided by R2 square plus S into X2 square. So that is equal to total S into 0, 0. 0 by value 0. Total value becomes 0. Means rotor current under the running condition is 0. Clear? If the rotor current under the running condition is 0, there is no chance to produce the flux in the rotor circuit, as well as there is no chance to produce the torque in the rotor circuit. Okay. If there is no current, so there is no chance to produce the torque. So that's why the torque is also 0. That's why the torque is also 0. Okay, the motor torque is 0. Clear? Okay, when the motor torque is 0, the motor is going to be stopped. The motor is going to be stopped. That's why. So this is the reason. That's why the induction motor will never run at the synchronous speed. The induction motor can never run at the synchronous speed. Clear? So that's why this machine is called as a asynchronous motor or asynchronous machine. Clear? So like the same here also, when the motor speed is equal to rotor speed, when the motor speed is equal to synchronous speed, the torque is becoming 0. The torque is becoming 0. Clear? Next, when the motor speed is 0, what is the slip? When the motor speed is 0, what will be the slip? Can anyone tell, please? When the motor speed is 0, what is the slip value? 1. Yes, exactly. Because why slip is 1? Already we have discussed. S is equal to Ns minus motor speed is 0 by Ns, that is equal to 1. Clear? Slip is equal to 1 here. So when the motor speed is 0, slip is equal to 1. Clear? If the motor speed is increasing, the slip is going to decreases. The slip is going to decreases. You can observe here. I will take the one example. Okay, for example, synchronous speed is the 1500 RPM, and motor speed is, for example, 1000 RPM. Motor speed, for example, 1000 RPM. Then 1500 minus 1000 upon by 1500. So what is the value of this one? 500 upon by 1500. What is the value of this one? 1 by 3. Yes. What is the value of 1 by 3 value? 1 by 3 is equal to what is the value of 1 by 3? What is the value of 1 by 3? Please. Zero point 3, 3, okay, and so on, etc. If okay, motor speed is 1000 rpm. And now I am going to increase the motor speed. Now I am going to increase the motor speed. Clear? S is equal to 1500. Synchronous speed is the same. Minus, for example, motor speed is 1400. 1400 divided by 1500. So what is the value of the slip? 1500 minus 1400. 100 upon by 1500. 100 upon by 1500. What is the value of this one? 1 by 15 is equal to what is the value? 1 by 15 is equal to what is the value? 0 point 0 point 0.06. S is equal to 0.06. So when the motor speed is when the motor is running at 1000 rpm, when the motor is running at 1000 rpm, so the slip is 0.33. If the motor is running at 1400 rpm, means the motor speed is increases, then we are getting the slip is 0.06. Clear? Okay. Means what will happen if the motor speed is increases from 1000 rpm to 1400 rpm? What will happening? The slip is also the slip is decreases. The slip is decreases. Is it right? Okay, means if the motor speed is increases, the slip is going to be decreases. The slip is going to be decreases. Clear? Okay, next. After this point, after the synchronous speed, okay, after the synchronous speed, if the motor speed is still increases, if the motor speed is still increases, what will happening? What will be the slip? What will be the slip, please? If the motor speed is greater than the synchronous speed, okay, NR greater than the NS, what will happening? What will happening? For example, okay, for example, S is equal to 1500 minus 2000. Motor speed is greater than the synchronous speed, divided by 2000. So here we are getting the minus 500 upon by, sorry, minus 500 upon by minus 500 upon by minus 500 upon by 1500. Clear? So this is the 1 by 3. 1 by 3 means minus 1 by 3 minus 0.33. We are getting the slip value is minus 0.33. If the slip is negative, means the current is goes to negative. If the slip is negative, the current is also we are getting the negative. Okay, if the slip is negative, so we are getting the rotor current is also negative. Okay, whatever we are getting the negative value was, so no need exact value. Okay, just I am telling negative. We are getting the slip is negative, means when the motor speed is greater than the synchronous speed, so we are getting the slip value is negative. Slip value is negative. Clear? If the slip value is negative, we are getting the rotor current is also negative under the running condition. Okay, rotor current also we are getting negative under the running condition. Means I2R is also negative. I2R is also negative. I2R means rotor current under the running condition. If it is a negative, the torque is also goes to negative because the torque is proportional to current. It is clear. So the torque is also goes to negative. The torque is also goes to negative. So that's why here the torque is going to be a negative. The torque is going to be negative. Okay. Like the same way, again the torque is goes to negative maximum value negative, and then after that it is going to be decreases like this. Okay, initially the torque is minimum and then it is going to increases. When the motor speed is increases, the torque is going to be decreases. Clear? So this is the speed torque characteristics. Means when the torque is goes to negative, so what will happen? If the torque is negative, means current is negative. Current means negative means reverse power is flowing. Means it will work as a generator. The machine is work as a generator. Okay, if the slip is less than the 0, okay, if the slip less than the 0, it will work as a generator. The induction machine will work as a generator. Okay, if the slip S value is lies between the 0 to 1, if the slip value is 0 to if the slip value is between the 0 to 1, then it will work as a motor. It will work as a motor, means it will convert from electrical energy into the mechanical energy in this region. Okay, in this region, it will convert from electrical energy into the mechanical energy. This is the motoring mode. Okay, in this region, if the slip is less than the 0, okay, that means slip is negative value. Okay, the torque is goes to negative. The torque is goes negative, so the power is also negative. So it will work as a generator. It will convert from mechanical energy to the electrical energy. It will convert from mechanical energy to the electrical energy. Clear? So one more condition is there here. If the motor speed is negative, if the motor speed is negative, what will happen? What will be the slip? What will be the slip? That is equal to, if the motor speed yes, if the motor speed is NR is negative, okay, motor speed is negative, what will happen? Slip is equal to, we are getting the slip, you know the formula, NS minus of minus NR, okay, by NS. Clear? For example, 1500 minus, for example, motor speed is for 1000. Okay, so minus 1000 divided by 1500. So what is the value of this one? 1600, sorry, 1500 plus 1000, 2600. Sorry, what is the value this one? 2500. 1500 minus into minus plus. 1500 plus 1000, 2500. 2500 divided by 1500. So what is the value of this one? 1.66. Means S is equal to, that implies S is equal to 1.66. Clear? 1.66 is nothing but S is equal to greater than the 1. Okay, S is greater than the 1. If the S is greater than the 1, then it will goes into the braking region. It will goes into the braking region. So still means in reverse direction, means the motor is operating in the reverse direction. The slip is more than the 1. The slip is more than 1. So the machine will be work as a braking operation, that is a plugging operation. Or we can say if the slip is greater than the 1, the motor will work as a plugging mode. Okay, the motor will be work in the mode of plugging. Plugging is also braking. Clear? So this is the speed torque characteristics of the three-phase induction motor. Okay, simply we have to assume, we have to remember if the slip is between 0 to 1, it will work as a motoring mode. If the slip is less than the 0, it will work as a generator. If the slip is greater than the 1, okay, the induction motor will operate in the mode of plugging. Okay, that is the braking region. Clear? So this is the speed torque characteristics of the three-phase induction motor. Okay, so you can see here if the rotor speed is less than the synchronous, all these explanation we have given in the above graph. Okay, you can go through that one. Okay, generally, so already we have seen generally the machine, induction machine will be operate in the three modes: motoring mode, generating mode, and braking mode. Clear? In motoring mode, in this mode of operation, the supply is given to the stator's sides. The supply is given to the stator side, and the motor always rotates below the synchronous speed. Okay, the induction motor torque varies from 0 to full load torque. Okay, the induction motor torque varies from 0 to full load torque as the slip varies. Okay, the slip varies from 0 to 1. It is 0 at the no load. Okay, and at a standstill. From the curve, means from the above figure, you can see here in this figure. Clear? So it is seen that the torque is directly proportional to the slip. Okay, from above discussion, from above characteristics, we can easily identify the slip is directly proportional to the torque, or we can say the torque is directly proportional to the slip. Okay, that is more the slip, more will be the torque produced, and vice versa. The linear relationship simplifies the calculation of motor parameters to great extent. Clear? So means what we can say here, if the slip is increases, the torque is also increases. Okay, if the slip is more, the torque is also more. Okay, the torque is more means the mechanical power is also more. Clear? So simply we can say in motoring mode, slip is equal to 0 to 1. Slip is equal to 0 to 1, then it will work as a motoring mode. In generating mode, already we have discussed in above graph. Okay, when it is operating as a generating mode, slip क्या होना चाहिए इधर? Slip क्या होना चाहिए generating mode के लिए? Less than the 0. If the slip is less than the 0, okay, that the induced EMF is negative and rotor current is also negative. And if the rotor current is negative, the torque is also negative. Clear? If the torque is negative, means simply we can say it will torque is negative means it is operating the generating mode. Okay, reverse power is flowing. It will convert from mechanical energy into the electrical energy in the generating mode. Clear? This is the second region. Next, braking mode. Braking mode means if the slip is greater than the 1, the slip is greater than the 1, the slip is greater than the 1, the motor will goes into the braking mode. That is the plugging region. Okay, it will goes into the plugging region. Slip is greater than the 1 means the motor speed is negative. If the motor speed is negative, we are getting the slip values more than the 1. We are getting the slip values more than the 1. If the slip is more than 1, so it will goes to the braking operation. It will goes into the braking mode. So these are the speed torque characteristics of the three-phase induction motor. Clear? So speed control methods of induction motor. So an induction motor is practically a constant speed motor. Okay, is practically constant speed motor. That means for the entire loading range, change in speed of the motor is quite small. Clear? So what we can see here, generally induction motor we are using in the where we require the constant speed, because for controlling the for using the in variable speed applications, we need to control the power. Okay, but it is very difficult to control the power compared with the DC motors. That's why generally the AC, induction motors, generally we are using the where the constant speed is required. But nowadays, due to the development of the power semiconductor devices, okay, like diode, thyristors, MOSFET, IGBT, track, diac, okay, due to the invention of, due to the development of power semiconductor devices, it is very easy to control the power. Okay, it is easy to control the power using the power electronic converters. Okay, so after development of power electronic converters, maybe a converter, inverter, chopper, AC voltage controller, and so on, etc. Okay, so so we can control the power by using the power electron converters. If the power is controlled, the speed is also can be controlled. So simply what we can say, so after development of power semiconductor devices, it is very easy to control the uh, to vary the speed of the induction motor also. So nowadays the induction motor is also can also be used in the variable speed applications compared with the DC motors, because the DC motor is having the drawbacks due to the presence of commutators, brushes. Okay, the machine size is increases, the machine cost will be increases. Okay, and it cannot be the DC machines cannot be operated in all the places. Okay, so it is having the more drawbacks compared with the AC motors. Clear? So that's why nowadays we can also use the induction motors in variable speed applications also. Okay, speed of the DC shunt motor can be varied very easily with good efficiency, but in case of induction motor, speed reduction is accompanied by corresponding loss of efficiency and rotor power factor. So this point already we have discussed. Clear? So generally what we can say, the DC motors is most preferred for variable applications because the controlling technology is very easy. Okay, so that's why we are using the induction motor in constant speed applications. But nowadays, already we told we have a control technologies using the power electronic converters. Okay, due to the development of these converters, the power controlling technology is very easy. So the induction motor also can be used in the variable speed applications. Okay, induction motor speed can be controlled using the from the stator side. Okay, induction motor speed control from the stator sides. What are the speed control techniques are there? Okay, generally we have is two types of speed control techniques, from the stator side and second one is the rotor side. Okay, from by using the stator side circuit, we can control the speed of the induction motor, as well as by using the rotor side circuit, we can control the speed of the induction motor. Clear? So these are the, we have it two, basically two types of speed control techniques of the three-phase induction motors. Okay, so we know the equations. Okay, but I have not derived this torque equation, already you have seen in the machine subject. We know the formula torque is equal to SC K1 means constant into S into E2 square upon by R2 by square root of R2 square plus S into X2 square. That is equal to 3 by 2 pi NS into S into E2 square into R2 upon by square root of R2 square plus X into X2 square. So this torque equation you can derive in the electrical machine subject. Okay. So you can go through that torque equation, but here no need to derive the equation. Clear? The rotor resistance R2 is constant and slip is small, then Sx2 square is also small. Okay, S into X2 square is also small, that it can be neglected. Therefore, T is directly proportional to S into Et square. Torque is directly proportional to the S into Et square. Torque is directly proportional to the S into Et square. So means what we can say here, if the rotor is having the small resistance, okay, if the rotor is having the small resistance or constant, then the slip is small. If the slip is small, okay, if the slip value is small, then this total value become a very small. So this term we can be neglected. So if this term is neglected and the rotor resistance is constant, so we can easily say, we can easily write the torque is directly proportional to the S into E2 square. Torque is directly proportional to the S into Et square. Okay. Clear? So this is the from the torque equation induction motor by changing the applied voltage, means from the stator side. Okay, from by using the stator circuit, we can control the speed of the induction motor by changing the applied voltage. By changing the applied voltage. Okay, if the supply voltage is controlled, so obviously the speed is also controlled. Okay, if the supply voltage is controlled, obviously the speed is also controlled. Okay, so we have a formula, EMF equation of the induction motor is equal to 4.445 into 5 into T into N dash. N dash is nothing but winding factor. Clear? So here, sorry, 4.44. What is the EMF equation of the three-phase induction motor? You have any idea? What is the EMF equation of the transformer? What is the EMF equation of the transformer? Can anybody tell, please? Mute. Okay. What is the EMF equation of the transformer, please? What is the EMF equation of the transformer? Can anybody tell, please? 4.44 F into 4.44 F into flux into Yes, please tell me. Means what we can say here. So the speed can be controlled by controlling the supply voltage. Okay, the speed can be controlled by controlling the supply voltage. Clear? That is the one of the that is the one speed control method of the by using the stator circuit side. Okay, by changing the applied frequency. By changing the applied frequency. Applied frequency is nothing but supply frequency. Okay, if we are changing the supply frequency, also the speed is also varies because we know the formula synchronous speed ns is equal to 120 f upon by p. So means the synchronous speed is directly proportional to the supply frequency. The synchronous speed ns is directly proportional to supply frequency. If this supply frequency is controlled, okay, if the supply frequency is increased, the synchronous speed is also increases. Okay, if the supply frequencies decreases, the synchronous speed is also decreases. Okay, the synchronous speed decreases, the motor speed is also decreases. Okay, the motor speed is also decreases. So like this way we can, by changing the supply frequency, we can change the we can control the speed of the three-phase induction. This is the one method for controlling the speed of the three-phase induction motor. These are the conventional methods. Okay. So here you can see because the motor speed, how you can ask the question how the synchronous speed is controlled. If the synchronous speed is controlled, how the motor speed is controlled? Because we have a formula nr is equal to motor speed nr is equal to, we know the formula ns into 1 minus s. Okay, means the synchronous rotor speed or motor speed is proportional to the synchronous speed. Okay, if this values decreases, okay, the motor speed is also decreases. The motor speed is also decreases. Clear? So like this way, by controlling the frequency of the supply, so we can control the speed of the induction motor. Clear? And one more method is there, constant V by F control of induction motor. This method we will see in solid state control technique. Okay, we will discuss later this method. Okay. And one more method is there, by changing the number of stator poles. Okay, one more method is there for controlling the speed of the induction motor. So how you can say, how you can control the speed of the induction motor by changing the number of stator poles? Because we have a formula ns is equal to 120 f upon p. ns is equal to 120 f upon by p. Okay, so means the synchronous speed is inversely proportional to the number of stator poles of the induction motor. Synchronous speed is inversely proportional to the number of stator poles of the induction motor. Is it clear? So if this number of poles is increases, the synchronous speed is decreases. If the synchronous speed is decreases, we have a formula already I have written, nr is equal to ns into 1 minus s. nr is equal to ns into 1 minus s. If the synchronous speed decreases, the motor speed is also decreases. The motor speed is also decreases. Okay, you can see the one we have taken a small example. You can see on the screen. If frequency is equal to 50 hertz, okay, if the frequency is equal to 50 hertz, if the frequency is equal to 50 hertz, okay, and p is equal to 4 number of poles of the stator, then ns is equal to 120 into 50 upon by 4. Okay, that is equal to, we are getting the value is 1500 rpm. We are getting the value is 1500 rpm. If the frequency is same, in the second case, frequency is same, that is 50 hertz. Okay, frequency is same, that is 50 hertz, and P is increases. Number of poles of the stator of the induction motor is increases. That is paid 4 liya tha, now we are taking the 6. Clear? So what will be the synchronous speed? ns is equal to 120 into 50 upon by 6. What is the value? 120 into 50 upon by 6. What is this value? 120 into 50 upon by 6. What is this value? It is on the screen. Can you tell please?
6.
1000. Clear? Means synchronous speed is 1000. So here if the number of poles is 4, we are getting the 1500 rpm synchronous speed. If the P is equal to 6, okay, number of poles is 6. Number of poles are 6. So we are getting the synchronous speed is 1000 rpm. Clear? So means just we are changing the number of poles here. We didn't do anything. Okay, we are not changing anything. Just we are changing the number of poles. If number of poles is increases, okay, the synchronous speed decreases. If the synchronous speed decreases, the motor speed is also decreases. The motor speed is also decreases. Is it clear? So this is also one of the method to control the speed of the induction motor. Okay, by changing the stator poles. Okay, by changing the stator poles, we can control the speed of the induction motor. Is it clear? Is it clear? So tomorrow we will see the speed control techniques of the induction motor from the rotor circuit by using rotor side. Okay, just wait, I will take the attendance. One three five six 9 13 14 15 9 13 14 15 16 18 20 16 18 20 21 22 23 21 22 23 24 25 24 25 26 27 26 27 28 33 28 33 38 39 42 38 39 42 43 47 43 47 48 49 48 49 51 53 51 53 54 56 57 54 56 57 62 52 62 52 11 12 11 12 8 50 8 50 60 दीपाली रोल नंबर कितना 19 34 Mahesh, what is the roll number? Mahesh Dongre.